Hey, what's good, family? This is Ryan Jackson from Ryan Jackson LLC. Hope you guys are having a blessed and wonderful day. Hope you're doing well out there. Hope that you're having a good day. Today is the big day, I guess, election day. We won't know the results tonight. We'll probably know 'em, like in the morning because the polls out here on the West Coast, they close at 8 o'clock our time, by 11 o'clock your time, if you're on Eastern Standard Time. But in any event, with it being election day, nevertheless, I hope that you're having a blessed and wonderful day. And the likelihood that you're not, always remember this: tough times don't last, tough people do. Keep your hope, trust, and faith in Allah, God, and He will see you through. Hey, Brother Steph, thank you for tuning in. Salute to you. I'm doing good, brother. Can't complain. That's good that you voted. And that leads me into what this video is about. Um, so last week, I think I may have mentioned this on here, but I want to share a nightmare that I had last Sunday night or Saturday night, Sunday morning, or whenever I had this nightmare. It was last week. I dreamt it was tonight, election night. Um, at the time of in the nightmare, at the time, my wife and I had the TV on in the living room, and Trump was winning the election. He was winning. It was still too early to claim him as the victor, but he was winning the election in the nightmare. The nightmare wasn't him winning. I'm gonna get into what the nightmare was, but he was winning the election. He was winning at that time. Again, it was still too early to tell. So my wife asked me, she said, "Hey, would you run to the store and pick up a couple things for me?" I said, "Sure, absolutely." So as soon as I open my door, I go out to get into the car, and it's like a purge going on. It's total chaos. People are getting murdered. People are getting beat up. It's a riot. It's just a mass anarchy. Police sirens are going off. Helicopters. Fires everywhere. People are dead in the street, hurt. And I said, "Oh hell no!" So I make a beeline back to our apartment, and I lock the door. And I told my wife, "I'm not going out there." I said, "It's utter chaos. It's like mass a mass riot has broken out." And then the dream ended, where the nightmare ended. So I saw a lecture from Brother Ishmael Muhammad, spokesperson for the national spokesperson for the Nation of Islam, Brother Ishmael Muhammad. He did a lecture on Sunday afternoon, Sunday morning, and he told the believers, he said, when you do your work on Tuesday, go straight home. Go straight home. Do not linger in the street on Tuesday evening. Go straight home and watch the election results at home. He instructed the believers in the Nation of Islam, once your work is done, once you're done doing your work, whatever, go home. Take shelter in your home. He said that there's a lot of hatred in the street. There's a lot of hatred out here. And that was in my dream. And it's funny he said that because a week prior to his lecture, or excuse me, a week prior to his lecture, I had a dream of what he was speaking of. If that is not the Allah speaking through us, then I don't know what is. Yes, Allah does speak through you through your dreams. He did it in the Bible, he did it in the Quran. He spoke through the prophets through their dreams. I'm not claiming myself to be a prophet. Let me make that clear, very clear. I'm not saying I'm a prophet. No, I'm just a follower of Allah, the creator, the beneficent, the merciful, the all knowing. I'm just a follower, I'm just a servant. But it's just so funny that I had that nightmare a week before Brother Ishmael did his lecture. And he was saying the very same things I had my nightmare about. He was saying that there's so much hatred out here on both sides. He said in the lecture, it's not like Donald Trump has a few million um, supporters. No, he has half the nation, and Kamala Harris has the other half. And it's causing the country to be divided. It's serious out here, y'all. It is serious. I don't care who you voting for. I've been saying that for months on here. Do what's best for you. If you feel that Kamala Harris has your ear and that's your candidate and you're rolling with her, by all means, vote for her. If you feel that Donald Trump has your ear, he's saying, he's your candidate, roll with him. If you feel like being on the couch and watching this shit show unfold, you have that right too. You have options. I would not dare tell anyone who to vote for. That's none of my business. I can't tell no one who to vote for. Ask you who you voted for. That should be private. That should be between you and Allah and your family. Sometimes you can even tell your family who you voted for. Nowadays, I know I didn't share who I voted for with my family. Talking about my, outside of my household. You can't. Even in your household, you can't even talk about who you voted for, especially among Black people. This election, and I don't want to sound cliche-ish and say, well, this is the most important election of our lifetime. They say that about every election. They've been saying that about every election that I can remember. Well, since 1992. I don't remember them saying that in 84 or in 88, but I remember them saying in 92. So they always go to that playbook. This is the most important election of our lifetime. But I won't say that, but this election is the most divisive. I will say that. It's the most divisive. It is. It just is. And it's divisiveness between Black people. You have family members not speaking to other family members because of who they voted for. I'm going through that now. You have friendships breaking up. Again, that should be a private matter. That should be shared with everybody. Again, like I said a few seconds ago, if you're a Harris supporter, right on, vote for her. You're a Trump supporter, right on, vote for him. If you're a couch supporter, right on, vote for the couch. Or Jill Stein or whomever. Dr. Cornel West. But no matter who wins, it won't be a win for Black America. Let me repeat myself. No matter who wins, it won't be a win for Black America. It won't. They don't want to give us reparations, either party. They don't want to give us a federal hate crime bill. So when we're killed unjustly, that should be a hate crime bill. They don't want to do it. They don't want to put it in legislation. They don't even want to have a conversation. I just mentioned reparations. They don't want to even do a Marshall Plan. The Marshall Plan was uh, was an economic plan that built Western Europe after World War II. The Point Four program was an economic program that rebuilt Japan after World War II. We need our version of both of those plans. We need the Black version of the Marshall Plan and a Black version of the Point Four program. They don't want to do that. They don't want to do that. Before I go any further, hit that thumbs up button, smash that thumbs up button down, hit the subscribe button so you get notifications when I do videos on here. Simply Accounting. Greetings, bro. Hey, greetings to you. Salute. Thank you for tuning in. The lynching law is still on the books. Huh. It's funny you mentioned that lynching law. So Judge Joe Brown broke this down on an interview he did with damn, what's her name? Candace Owens. He broke this down in an interview he did with Candace Owens. So with that lynching law, it doesn't cover lynching. It's just a guy. It's just a disguise. They use that as a trick to show black people, hey, the lynching law. This is what the legislation that we're doing that we put on the books for y'all. And black people don't read the fine print of it. So with that lynching law, yes, there are some cases where black people are being lynched, but for the most part, we're not being lynched like that, like it was in the 1920s and 30s. We're being gunned down. They're using they're using they're using the steel now to take us out. That lynching law covers um, violence against members of the LGBTQ plus IA community. It does. So what Judge Joe Brown broke down on this interview with Candace Owens, he said that if a guy goes to a bar with his homies, goes to the club, whatever, hooks up with someone, they making out in the corner, he reached down and the dude or this person has a stick and balls. He like, what the hell? And he punches this person in the face. The lynching law covers that. So once again, it's a trick. It's trickery. It's fuckery. Excuse me for saying that. So the lynching law doesn't cover hate crimes toward black people. It covers hate crimes toward people who identify as LGBTQ plus IA. That's what it covers. You see how they just co-opt everything that's supposed to be for us? They did it with the civil rights movement in the 60s. Civil rights movement was supposed to be for black people. We were the only ones that were being lynched. We were the only ones that were being murdered. Going to the polls, getting water hoses sprayed on us. German shepherds sticked on us. Told we couldn't drink at that water fountain. Told we couldn't use that bathroom. Couldn't eat at white restaurants. No one was going through that but black people. But some way, somehow, oh boy, some way, somehow, the good old Democrats, yes, 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 the good old Democrats co-opted to include everybody, to include Native Americans, Latino Americans, the handicapped, white women, the LGBTQ plus IA community, everyone but black people, everybody. Everybody benefited from the civil rights movement, but for the people who it was intended for, and that was us. Am I right or am I absolutely right? So that lynching law, it's a joke. It doesn't cover what you think is what we think it covers. And Cory Booker was behind that. Senator Cory Booker, formerly the mayor of Newark, New Jersey. So no, it doesn't cover anti-hate crimes against black people. Because if that was the case, then these police departments would have been held accountable years ago. They would have been held accountable, even now, but it doesn't cover that. But with that being said, whoever you vote for tonight, if you go to the polls, drop your ballots off, be watchful. Be watchful. I'm very serious on this. Be watchful. Look to your left, look to your right, look behind you, look ahead of you. Have your head on a swivel. Just be watchful. Before you even drop your ballot off or go to the polls, just notice your surroundings. Just take a few seconds and just notice your surroundings. Just scan the area. Do a quick scan of the area. If something doesn't look right, just wait or go to another polling place that's in the area or drop your ballot off at the mailbox. I would say drop your ballot off at the post office just to be on the safe side because there have been reports in Arizona that someone has been setting mailboxes on fire. This is how evil people are. They are setting mailboxes on fire that contain the ballots. That's a federal crime. But these people don't give a damn. This is how this is how wicked this nation has become. But if you go to if you go drop your ballots off, preferably go to the post office. Go to the post office. Um, you go to election, you go to the polls. If you can, take somebody with you. Don't go by yourself. If at all possible, take someone with you. Just be safe. Be safe. I always close out my videos with beware and be aware. Well, now tonight, beware and be aware. And try not to be out late at night. If as much as possible, try to do your voting or drop your ballots off while it's light out, while it's light outside. Please. I had just had this funny feeling that something is it's going to get crazy. It's going to get crazy out here. Like I just mentioned a couple seconds ago, people are setting mailboxes on fire. I mean, really? So just be safe, y'all. Beware and be aware because Satan comes to kill, steal, and destroy now more than ever before. And tonight is a great night for Satan because he wants division, he wants divisiveness, he wants to kill, he wants to destroy. America is already a fragile nation. America's morals have gone to hell. Some say she never had any morals, but now it's like it's just completely out of hand. So just be safe, y'all. I cannot stress that enough. Please be safe out here. After you after you get off work or pick your children up from school, run your errands, what so have you. If as much as possible, go straight home. Go straight home. Do not stay out here at night. Do not linger out in the streets when it's dark out. I just have this funny feeling. Allah showed me that vision, gave me that nightmare for a reason. There's a reason why Brother Ishmael gave that lecture on Sunday. And like I said earlier in this video, I had that nightmare a week before he gave his lecture. How crazy is that? It's so much hatred out here. One side say if they don't win, they're not going to concede. They said that. If they don't win this election, they're not going to concede. And if the other side loses, I think they're going to do the same thing. The Democrats this time around are more divisive than they were 4 years ago, even 8 years ago. I've never seen, and I'm sure there's been divisiveness from them before, but now it's just out in full blast, live and in living color. I've never seen so much divisiveness from the left. I've seen it from the right. We've gotten used to that over the last couple of decades. We've gotten used to how divisive the right can be. But the left, the so-called party of morals and for the people and this and not for social programs and for the poor and for the blacks and this and that and for they have been so divisive during this election, so divisive to the point where they have told black men that they have gotten on them. They have talked to black men like they're like bad kids. You're gonna do this. Don't you do that no more. You better do this. Just last month, Barack Obama. A couple of weeks ago, just last week, Michelle Obama. You better do this. If your husbands don't want to vote, are mad about the economy, and you vote for Kamala Harris and you make them angry. Why would you promote division and strife in the household? Black men have it bad as it is out here. When we come home, we want peace in our homes. We don't want to go to war. We're already at war out here in these streets. Whether we at work, um, just enjoying ourselves, whatever the case may be, running errands, we already there's already stripes against us. We're already behind the eight ball. We're behind enemy lines. The last thing we need is a war in our own household. This is our refuge. This is where we're supposed to find peace. Why are you promoting that? Oh, I know why. Because you want this woman to get in the office. Why are you promoting that? They don't do that to any other community but ours. They would not dare go to the Latino community and tell their women, vote for Kamala Harris and piss your man off, or talk down to Latino men. They wouldn't dare do that. They wouldn't dare do that in the Asian community. Talk down to Asian men, to Asian women, piss your man off and vote for her. They wouldn't dare do this to the Jewish community. Talk down to Jewish men and tell Jewish women, piss your man off and vote for her, Kamala Harris. They do it to us, and we allow them. And you have these buck broken, goofy Negroes that did a black men summit last week on a white network. A black men summit on a white network really should have been called Buck Broken Entertainment Television Black Beta Men's Summit, or Black Beta Men Summit, because none of them were masculine men. They were crying about racism, crying about Trump, crying about being scared of the police, crying about guns. It's like, y'all whining. I don't have time for this. Y'all a bunch of suckers. Now is not the time for suckers. We are men. We are protectors. We are providers. That's what Allah requires of us. Not to be scared, not to be fearful. Oh, I'm scared of the police. I'm scared of Trump. He's racist. He don't like us. Since when do the person you vote for have to like you? It's insane. Like Shamika Michelle said, great sister said, did a video on X. Some of y'all need some friends. If you can't get any friends, get you a puppy. Let the puppy be your friend. The puppy will love you. I mean, damn, just insanity. Oh, I'm so scared. Oh, oh, the police. Oh God, they scare me. I'm not. In Islam, we're taught to fear no man. We are taught to fear no man. The only person we fear is Allah. That's the only one. Fear no man. I don't fear the police. Do they annoy me at times? Of course. But I don't fear them. I don't this is fear. They're promoting fear to us. They don't do it to no other community but us, and it's our people. Like I said yesterday, we're the only people who welcome our oppression with open arms. We are. We welcome our oppressors and oppression with open arms. Come on in. Come on in. Put your feet up on the table. I just cleaned the table, but no, just put your feet up. What you want the remote control? Here's the remote control. Turn the TV to whatever you want to turn it on. I'll cook something for you. This is your house now. Even though you don't pay nan bill here, this is your home. We're the only people who welcome our oppressors and oppression with open arms. Hit that thumbs up button, smash that thumbs up button down, hit that subscribe button so you get notifications when I do videos on here. Oh, brother Iron Will, salute to you. Thanks for tuning in. So to catch you up, so I mentioned earlier in the video, and don't worry about being late. It's all good, brother. So early in the video, I mentioned I had like last week I had a nightmare, and the nightmare took place tonight, election night. This was last week. I had this nightmare. Took place tonight, election night. Trump was winning the election in the nightmare. Not that wasn't the nightmare that Trump was winning the election. Let me be very clear on that. That wasn't the nightmare. He was winning the election at that time, but it was still too early to tell because all the states hadn't reported their results. Like only the states in the Midwest and on the East Coast had reported. The Western states still hadn't reported their results. But at that time, Trump was winning. He was winning. Again, it was still too early to tell. It's like in the nightmare. I think it took. It was like 7 or 8 o'clock, and me and my wife was watching TV. So my wife told me. She asked me. She said, "Could you run to the store and grab me a couple of things?" I said, "Sure." So as soon as I go out the door, I look out, get into the car. Brother, it's just mass chaos. It's police sirens going off, police cars racing up and down the street, the ghetto birds just flying around. People were getting murdered in the street. People were getting beat up. It's like a mass riot had broke out. And it was just total anarchy. And the police were just overwhelmed. I mean, literally, it was bloody in the street. People were getting murdered. People were getting beat up. There were fires being set. It was rioting. I said, the hell with this. And I made a beeline back to my apartment and I told my wife, I'm not going out there. And I said, you hear what's going on? I said, it's crazy out on those streets. And the nightmare ended. And I mentioned that Brother Ishmael Muhammad, the national spokesperson for Honorable the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, he did a lecture on Sunday at Mass Mariam where he told the believers, he said, once you're done with your work, go home. Go home. Do not be out in the streets on Tuesday night. Go home. Take refuge and safety in your homes. Exactly. It was like the purge. That's exactly what I told my good brother. And I told a couple other people this dream. That's exactly what I said. It was like the purge. Exactly. You heard multiple sirens. Yeah, see? So I haven't heard anything out here so far. So far, it's been calm, but that's when you need to pay attention. When everything is peaceful and quiet and calm, pay attention. What do they tell us? Prepare for war in a time of peace. They say it's a calm before the storm. This is the calm before the storm. Because a storms are coming. You better believe it. So it's just, and I told people, just be safe. I told my wife, as soon as you get off work, go just come straight home. Because it's gonna get crazy out here in the street. And Brother Ishmael said that it's so much hatred out here, so much division, so much divisiveness that that's why he told us to take refuge. That's why he told us to take shelter in our own homes. That part of Maryland I live at is heavily Republican. It's going to be a riot here if Trump loses. Yeah, shit, it's going to be a riot if Harris loses. Yup. Don't let these people fool you. Just because they're on the left, just because they vote Democrat, don't mean that they're peaceful, upholding citizens of this country. That the only bad people are those who vote Republican or on the side of the right are red. You have devils on the right, you have devils on the left. There's devils on both sides, red and blue, Bloods and Crips. In this case, Republicans and Democrats. Bad people on both sides. But like I said early in this video, I've seen more divisiveness and anger from the left than I have from the right. We done got used to that being from people on the right over the last couple of decades. You know, we've gotten used to that. We've gotten used to that. It's like, okay, we've seen this movie before. Okay, the Trump supporters, some Trump supporters, not all of them, but some Trump supporters and those on the right are mad. They say they're not going to concede. You know, the Proud Boys, this and that. But the left, they have been like, they have been divisive. I've never seen this before in my life, where people who vote Democrat are the ones who are creating a division, they're creating a hatred. They are serious. They do not want Trump to win. And I think if Trump wins and Harris loses, it ain't gonna be peaceful. No- Put it to you like this. No matter who wins, it's not gonna be peaceful. By the grace of Allah, I hope that I'm wrong. I hope that I'm wrong. But if Harris loses, it won't be peaceful. If Trump loses, it won't be peaceful. They really do not want Trump in the White House. They think he should be in prison. They hate him. People think he's the worst white man in the history of the world. That he created racism. That before Trump got into politics, racism didn't exist. Like, what planet have y'all been living on? So before Trump got into racism, Trump got into racism. Before Trump got into politics, prior to 2015, racism didn't exist. Really, none of us suffered through racism. I'm almost 50 years old. I have plenty of stories of racist encounters. My parents, my mother, my grandparents, may Allah be pleased with them. My father, my biological dad, and my stepfather, may Allah be pleased with both of them. They went through racism. Jim Crow. Hello, Jim Crow laws. They were on the books for what? 90 something years or 80 something years from 1896 to 1965. Have y'all not been paying attention? But Trump invented racism. And if Kamala Harris wins, racism will end. It's actually Negroes out there who believe that. I've seen it. They think if Kamala Harris wins, that racism will just, if she wins, racism will no longer exist. She's going to wipe our problems away. She's going to do what Allah and what Jesus can't do. People actually believe this. This is their thinking. She's going to just wipe our sins away. She's going to wipe away crime and racism and sexism and this ism and that ism, and everything's going to be okay. We're going to hold hands over an international cup of coffee and sing Kumbaya and skip together. Wake up out of that wet, sad dream. It's not going to happen. Not in this country. I don't know what reality y'all are living in, what fantasy world that you're painted for yourself. Now, if you want to vote for her, you have that right. But if you actually think that if this woman wins this election, that everything is just going to be hunky dory, we're going to come to loving each other and holding hands, and everything's going to be all right, and you know, kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya. We're gonna be like the Get Along gang and be skipping. I love you. I love you. I love you. Oh, racism is gone. It's gone. Wake up out of that damn dream. Snap out of it. That shit ain't happening. I'm not saying it's gonna happen if Trump wins. This nation is still beholden to Israel. Still beholden to Israel. She's our ally. Now I will say this. Trump will end that Ukraine-Russia war. And he's talking about getting us out of these proxy wars, but he's still going to be holding to APAC, which is tied in with Zionism, Israel. We know Kamala Harris is going to continue these proxy wars. They're already have earmarked billions of dollars to Ukraine in their war against Russia. We're still going to continue the bombing campaigns in Yemen and Syria and Lebanon. We're still going to be involved in the Israel-Hamas war. So, and the beat goes on. Before I jump off of here, I want to mention something. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan mentioned that America has interfered in the elections of 81 nations. Let me repeat that again. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has said that America has interfered in the elections of 81 nations. 81. But wants to cry about election fraud, election interference. What did Brother Malcolm say? The chickens are coming home to roost. What's the old saying? Karma. What goes around comes around. You throw a boomerang, that bad boy comes right back to you. Well, you throw that boomerang 81 times and it's coming back to you. It's finally coming back to clock you upside your head. Wow, 72% Trump? Damn, that's crazy. As of right now, they already told it's going to be a close election. when we know each president, Biden, to receive every African American vote to be elected. And now I've seen channels 72% Trump. How can it be close? Wow. That goes to that's the nightmare I had. Trump was winning. Oh my. Like I said earlier in this video, Allah will speak to us in our dreams. He spoke to the prophets in dreams in the Old Testament, in the Quran. I'm not likening myself to a prophet by no means. I'm a servant. I'm a humble servant of Allah. I'm by no stretch of the imagination a prophet. But Allah will reveal things to us in our dreams. And it's up to us to pay attention and to behoove that dream. I know people don't believe that. Don't believe what? The 72% or about the dream I had. You know? But I don't know. So it's like I said, this is just crazy. I did vote. I really wanted to pay attention to what's going on in my locality here in the town I live in. The school board. We had some propositions here in the state of California on prison on I call it prison slave work with a proposition on that. I voted on that with a couple people running for the Senate. I voted on that. Um, so I pay close attention to what's going on in the town I'm living in and in the state too. So, but because that's where it matters. That's where your vote actually counts. Not in the presidential election, but in your local elections. That's where it count. And I did vote for a president candidate. I will say that. Not saying who, but I did. Not saying who. But this is the fifth election that I voted in. My first election was in 2008 when Obama ran the first time against John McCain. That was my first time voting. The elections that I really paid it close. I've been paying close attention to a presidential elections since I was 8 years old, which was in 1984. I wasn't able to legally to actually vote until 1996. That was my first presidential election that I would have been able to vote in. Was the '96 election between Bill Clinton and Bob Dole. I was 20 years old in '96. Couldn't vote in '92. I was 16. I was a junior in high school, so I couldn't vote then, but I paid close attention to it. So my first election that I would have been able to vote in would have been in '96 when I was 20, but I didn't vote then. I didn't vote. I was in the military and I didn't vote those years I was in there. I just felt it was useless. It was what was the point? But this is my fifth election that I'm voting, so whatever. I know people. I think you're a gaslighting thing. What am I gaslighting? What am I gaslighting? I just read a comment from one of someone who subscribes to my channel. Excuse me. I just read a comment someone put in the chat here, but I'm not saying that Trump is was. I'm just reading a comment. That's all I'm doing. So how the hell am I gaslighting? Whatever, lady. I'm gaslighting. Whatever. That word is so overblown too. Have y'all noticed that people just use that word, just throw it out there? You're gaslighting. What does that mean? You're gaslighting. You're gaslighting. You're gaslighting. How? Someone posted a comment in the thread, and I just read it. I didn't say I believed it. I just read the shit. So how the fuck am I gaslighting? Well, whatever. Whatever. Common sense ain't so common. But anywho, y'all be safe out here. Just be safe. Please, please be safe. Please be safe. No matter who you vote for, just be safe. Beware and be aware. And do not linger out here in these streets at night. If you have to run errands, or which include dropping your ballots off or going to the polls, whatever the case may be safe and try to do it before it gets dark out. Whatever, try to do it before it's gonna get crazy out here. I mentioned what Brother Ishmael said in the lecture. I mentioned the nightmare that I had. I have a feeling it's gonna get crazy out here. I hope by the grace of Allah that it doesn't, but if it does, I will not be surprised. So, brothers and sisters, y'all be safe. Be safe. Vote if you want to. If you don't want to vote, you have that right to. Our ancestors did not die for us to have the right to vote. Let me repeat that again. Our ancestors did not die for us to have a right to vote. They died for us to have a right to be free. And we've been voting for a long time and we still ain't free. So there you have it. I'm going to land my plane there. Um, I hope that y'all got something from this video. Hope you got the gist of what I was saying. Hope I was able to, make my points known. Hit that thumbs up button, smash that thumbs up button down. Hit that subscribe button so you get notifications whenever I do videos on here. Share this video, share it, share it, share it, share it. Share it 10 times, 20 times, 30 times over. Support my channel and support my future projects. I need y'all love and support. It'll be greatly appreciated. I can't do it without y'all. And I don't take it for granted. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Somebody said, but we won't riot for Medicare for all, living wages, and rent control. That is right, sister. We won't. We just riot for what they want to tell us. All police brutality, riot. All this, riot. It's like we become puppets. We become robots. Read this last comment. I'm just saying, don't be surprised. Brothers and sisters, don't believe a damn thing you're saying. I don't know why they even listening. Huh. That's a great. Yeah, right. I guess they want to troll. They want to troll. Whatever. Whatever. Like like my brother Willie D says. Willie D from the Ghetto Boys. Trolls are hoes. Trolls are hoes. So, people just want to troll. So, whatever. They want something, they want to cause chaos. They want something to be angry about or to be combative about. Not so much angry, but just to be combative. That's the world we live in, unfortunately. But on that note, hope y'all got something from this video. Uh, Subscribe to my channel, support my future projects. Be greatly appreciated. I need y'all love and support, and continue to support me, please. Let's do that. In the likelihood, and I know there's already been a person on here, and the likelihood that we don't agree, let's agree to disagree without being disagreeable, especially on topics like this video. In our disagreements, let's use logic, facts, and respect, not emotion and disrespect. That'll get you nowhere. So keep that in mind. Y'all be safe out here today, tonight, at all times. Whether you're coming home from work, going to work, picking your children up from school, running errands, going to the polls to vote, dropping your ballots off, whatever the case may be. Be safe, beware, and be aware. I cannot stress that enough. Lord have mercy. Be safe. Be aware. Be aware and beware. Please, 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 please. Satan comes to kill, steal, and destroy now more than ever before. And this is right up Satan's alley to do something sinister on tonight of all nights. Just up it's in his playbook. I don't put nothing past Satan and his minions, his devils, his demons. So be safe, y'all. Please. Make sure, make sure that you, if at all possible, you do everything before night falls. What they say, the freaks come out at night? Well, yeah. Well, guess what? The demons come out at night. Well, they come out in the day too. They come out in the day, but they prefer the night. So do everything, vote, running errands, everything. If at all possible, do it before nightfall. Take refuge and safety in your own homes and watch the results on the television. If all minds are clear, I am out of here. I think I made my point known. I love y'all. Y'all take care. No matter who wins, it's not a win for the black community. No matter who wins. If Harris wins, if Trump wins, it's not a win for the black community. Only time we win is when we have unity and there's strength in numbers. Now is not the time for backbiting and divisiveness. Now is the time for black people to unify. We don't always have to agree. We don't. As a matter of fact, we shouldn't agree on everything. Because if you agree with somebody on everything, that's kind of like you don't have a mind of your own. You don't think, you don't have free thought. You don't have the right to think for yourself. It's like, come on. But again, agree to disagree without being disagreeable. Agree to disagree without being disagreeable. Let's do that. But we need unity now more than ever. Now more than ever. It's not the time for divisiveness, especially among the black man and the black woman, because our children are watching this and we have to set an example for them. Black boys are watching this. Black girls are watching this. Well, if my daddy hate my mama or whatever, then I'm gonna grow up hating women. Or the little girl, if my mama hate my daddy, I'm gonna grow up hating men. We don't want that. No, no. That's not what Allah intended. It goes against the will of Allah. Do not let these devils divide us. So no matter who wins this election, it's not a win for Black America. The only time we will win is if we unite and fight our common enemies. I'm gonna get off my soapbox now for real. So I love y'all. Y'all take care and be safe. Love y'all. All right, I'm out. Assalamu alaikum.